Yo, what's going down? What's cracking? So today, I want to talk about communication, and my goal is to provide 2 tips that will help you become a way better communicator. That's my goal. That is my goal. So I'll be providing value in that way today. Before I go into it, I do want to give disclaimers. Whenever I'm talking to the YouTube, this is new for me, talking to YouTube in this way. This is not my strongest suit. When I'm at my best and I'm in my element, it's whenever I'm talking to one person and we don't have distractions and I can take a seat inside of that person's mind and really just vibe out and understand them. That's when I'm at my best when it comes to communication. So if you wish to be able to communicate with people on this level, stick around. I'm gonna give you the 2 tips that I got, and it provided so much value in my life. And I guarantee you, if you actually practice what I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna help you. I guarantee you. If it don't, you get your money back. But before I do, I was looking for something earlier and I couldn't find it, but I remembered it and I'll pull it up in a second. If I can, assuming that I can't find it really, I'll give it. Okay, so anyways, I haven't really did my what's it called? My research on this. But here recently, this might have been a week ago, someone told me I had the gift of gab. I don't know. I ain't never heard that term before. I don't know if this shit idolatry or what. I don't know. But it looked like it's an actual rapper. I don't really know any of this. But they sent me a screenshot and said, you kind of got the gift of gab. They said something of that nature. I'm like, what is that? And then they sent me a screenshot. And it says something like this. It says, the ability to speak easily and confidently in a way that makes people want to listen to you and or believe you. And you can kind of look this up on your own. I don't really know. This is my first time hearing that term. But it isn't my first time hearing people say that I'm kind of eloquent in speech and I'm just good at talking to people. I got away with people. So, with these kind of referrals and recommendations, you can choose to believe me or not on the recommendations or people telling me I'm good at it. Or you can look at my other videos and you can be the judge of that. That, like I said, that is not my strong suit, just talking into the camera. My strong suit is really one-on-one, talking to a person. I excel in that area. This is my own opinion. You know, but anyways, let's jump into it, man. I feel so passionate about this. I literally enjoy talking about this. Communication is just so beautiful. I said I'm gonna get to it, so I'm gonna get to it. But I am gonna come back to why I enjoy communication so much and why I feel so passionate about it. And why it just put a smile on my face as I'm just thinking about it. I'm starting to blush. Who is this guy? So anyways, the first tip to being an effective communicator is understanding. Understanding. This sounds so cliche, but this single-handedly is going to make you a way better communicator. And the deeper you understand, the better you'll be able to communicate to a person and or a audience and or an audience. You understand them, you know what may trigger them, what may make them upset, what could rub them the wrong way, what would be appeasing to this crowd or person. The more you understand on the intricate level or on the deep level, the easier it would be to communicate to them in a way that they can receive it. That is the first golden ticket. And it sounds cliche because you always hear people say stuff like, I'm trying to find it, let me get it. Like if you're in a discourse and you're exchanging words with someone, they'll say, I don't think you understand me. I don't think you understand. Well, wait, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying, or that's not what I mean. The essence of communication is understanding. You see what I'm saying? So whenever you take initiative and place it on yourself, and this is just a part of your person now, you literally desire to understand what someone is trying to say to you 24/7. You genuinely just want to understand it. Even if you have even if you have an opposing point of view, if you train yourself to still listen to understand them and what they are saying and where they are at in their life and how they got to where they at in their life, what triggered these events, once you just want to understand, communication comes so much easier. You know how to deal with everybody. Let's say I'm dealing with a older Mexican man. I apply my mind to understand that demographic of people on average. So I already may know how I should carry myself and speak to him if I want him to receive anything I'm gonna say. Older Mexican men, they are hyper demanding of respect. And I know how I may come off. I am a younger male. I do not look like I'm gonna have a lot of respect for his demographic of people. But when I show the utmost respect, just the whole dynamic is actually different. Assuming that he can speak English and assuming that I can speak Spanish, our communication, it'll be a pleasant conversation. I know the values that they come with. I have experience in that because I applied my mind to understand them. And this is just one small facet of just being a better communicator. This is just me just using anything that came to mind. And these things are way more intricate. It really doesn't boil down to a certain demographic of people, but that information helps. The more understanding you have, whether it's generalized, like to a demographic of people, or to us, a demographic of people based on location or ethnicity, the way better the communication may go. The more understanding you have on, their age, it will help you communicate to someone better. Like, if you understand that this person is 10 years old, you're not gonna come in here and break down the deepness and the intricacies of psychology to a 10-year-old and physics. You're probably not gonna go into it that deep because you understand where they're at. It's not always about you when it comes to communicating. You gotta focus on understanding where they at. And sometimes you may have to come down here and talk on the level where they can understand you. Sometimes you might have to come up here and meet them where they are at. Just like if someone is emotional and they're super angry, well, you use this information and this understanding of the situation, like, okay, this person is extremely angry. You're gonna have to move in a way not to invoke more anger. These are the basics to communication. Understanding is just the principal thing. And hopefully I'm not talking over anybody's head or that this is starting to become more complex. The real thing you need to know, this is the number one rule, the essence to becoming a good communicator is understanding. That's the essence of communication. Always try to understand. If they're bringing something to your attention, try to just understand it. If they're upset, if they're yelling, if they're quiet and soft-spoken, if they're tall, if they're short, if they're fat, if they're skinny, if they're black, if they're brown, I should say, if they're European or white, if they're a boss, if they're your employee. All of these different factors just help you so much. And the main ingredient that all of these have in common is understanding. You need more understanding. Well, why are they bringing this to you? Sometimes when people bring stuff to a person, the person who's supposed to receive the information and understand, they immediately get offended. They immediately feel attacked. They immediately get defensive and take things personal. And that's going to be something bad, because it's going to make it harder for you to understand. If you get personal, or take it personal, if you get defensive, it's going to make it harder for you to understand what that person is really trying to say to you. You got to be able to separate yourself from your emotions and not take it personal and get defensive, and just focus on understanding what someone is saying to you. This is such a big key. And this isn't just, it's so much I want to say right now, but to keep it as plain as possible, one of the biggest things, if you want to become a more effective communicator, is understand. It sounds cliche, but just try to understand what the hell they saying to you and why they bringing it to you. The more understanding you get, the better it's going to be for you when it's time for you to respond. Like if someone's bringing something to my heart, the very first thing I'm searching for is understanding. Oh, okay, you don't like whenever I put my arms up in the air and do this. The very first thing I'm going to do is probe for information. I'm going to say, okay, I understand you don't like that I do that, but why? Why is because why do I ask why? Because I need more understanding. And if they tell me that, look, bro, when you put your arms up, bro, you kind of musty as hell. Oh, I get it now. And it makes sense. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I appreciate that. I'm gonna work on that for you. I'm gonna try not to put my hands and wave them all in the air because I'm funky as hell. Simple. And not get offended by it. Just try to understand where they coming from. A lot of times, if you let somebody say what they need to say and you just walk with them and try to understand it ends up being sensible, even if you disagree with it. Where they coming from, a lot of times there's a rhyme and a reason somewhere in there, even if you disagree with it. So, my first tip, understanding, bro. Comprehension is so important. Words is good. Body language is great. But if you are not able to comprehend it and understand what they're saying, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a shit show. So, that's my first tip. Just try to get better at understanding, bro. Just try to get better at understanding. And probe. If you don't got enough understanding, probe and search for it. A lot of times when people come to you, it already took a lot of courage to come to you and talk to you, possibly, depending on the topic. But a lot of times when people open their mouths, they don't have it all put together. So walk with them, help them put it together, help them figure it out. Then next thing you know, you understand what they're saying. And then when you understand what they're saying, it's so much easier. This is my point right here. When you understand something, it's so much easier to give feedback. Let's say there's someone who specializes in ants. He can talk to you all day about ants, no matter what, because he specializes and studies ants every day. He just understands it. So he knows how to respond. Nothing's going to catch him off guard because he just understands it. So if you want to be a better communicator, get better at understanding. You don't got the right words for shit. Make sure you understand first what the person is trying to say to you. And make sure you understand yourself too. We're gonna So the first tip is understanding, and I'm sorry I'm making this drawn out, but I'm kind of excited talking about this. I feel passionate about it. So anyways, the second one is going to be having the desired result. And I know I'm starting to pull up to my town, so it's more turns and more bumps in the road, whatever. But listen to me. If you have a desired result, it is so much easier to communicate effectively. You have less filler words. Your points are your words are gonna come more natural and easier out of your mouth. You might not know every exact word that you're gonna use, but it's gonna make it so much easier to find those words because you know what the end result is that you want. So, let me kind of give you a similar situation. I'm in a car, so look at this. I'll use a car. Right now, I am in Catoosa. It's a town in Oklahoma. And I'm trying to go to Tulsa. And I'm trying to get to a Chick-fil-A in Tulsa. I might not know every single turn, every stoplight, every stop sign that I'm going to encounter. I don't know every single one and I don't know how long I'm gonna pause at this stop. I don't know all of that. But I do know my end result, and my end goal is to get to Chick-fil-A. Because they got good food. That's my end result, that's my end goal. As long as I know that that's my end goal and I'm trying to get there, all of the different turns and stops and whatever, I don't have to know all of that to the finest detail and have it perfect. I know kind of where I'm going and I'm gonna get there. It's okay. It's similar to how people who struggle with communicating to people, they tend to overthink and overanalyze and stress about how they're gonna say this to someone perfectly. I know this because I used to be the same way. I'm an overthinker. Now my overthinking is more healthy, so walk with me. Overthinkers are usually perfectionists. They want everything to be perfect down to the detail. And when it comes to communicating to people, they know what they kind of know what they want to say, but they kind of don't, because they don't want to do this and they don't want to mess up here, and they too caught up on every small thing. They caught up on every small word. But if the overthinker and the perfectionist say, look, I gotta put y'all in another scenario. Let's say I want to talk to Ashley. Me and Ashley are getting to know each other, we're courting, but Ashley does something that I do not like. Some people, they may start to overthink. They may start to overanalyze. Being a perfectionist is hard. Being an overthinker is hard because you'll start to overanalyze and overthink, and you'll stop moving. It's called analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis. There we go. Paralysis by analysis. God damn. Paralysis is basically when you cannot move. You're paralyzed. And overthinkers have this bad. You'll paralyze yourself and stop being able to move and do anything because you're overthinking. You're trying to overanalyze it. So there's a few connections and a few dots that I'm drawing together, and I'm kind of going all over the place, but I'm gonna tie them all into each other. So one of the things I want y'all to know is that overthinkers and perfectionists are usually in the same ballpark. Let me say that better. Perfectionists are usually overthinkers. That's what I'm trying to say. Perfectionists are usually overthinkers. One of the pros is that they're very intentional and methodical about how they do stuff when they do stuff. One of the cons is We overanalyze and overthink everything because we want it to be perfect, and then we'll become so engulfed with it, we'll end up paralyzing ourselves and not making any move, not doing anything. Going back to Ashley. Ashley did something that my heart don't like, and I want to bring it to her in a way that doesn't make her upset. I'm thinking about, you know, if she really meant to do this. I start over analyzing it, and next thing you know, I'm so deep inside my own brain and thinking about all this shit, I end up not even telling her that, hey, when you did this, Ashley, it made me feel this way and it made me upset. But this video is for me to help y'all get better at communicating. And this is one of the things that has helped Mahar tremendously. Just know what your desired result is, bro. And when you're just being genuine and honest, oh my gosh, it made my life so much easier. Just be genuine, be honest, and know your desired result. So in the same scenario with Ashley, she does something that offends me and it makes me upset. I want to tell her about it, but it's making me anxious. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't even know if it was she did it on purpose, etc., 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 etc. That's where I'm at though. If I just come to Ashley and say, hey Ashley, real quick, you know, can we talk real quick? And she's like, yeah, what's up? If I just be honest and truthful, and I have my desired result. In this case, Mahar's desired result is to tell her, my desired result in this situation, tell Ashley that what she did made me feel some type of way, but I don't want to offend her by telling her this. That's my desired result. I want to tell her she hurt me without her getting upset. That's my desired result. If I can keep my eyes on that, all of the words, they come into place. And if you're just being honest and truthful and genuine, the words are not complex at all. This is how Mahar would do it. Hey, Ashley, can we talk? She's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to make you upset when I tell you this, but yesterday, whenever you did such and such and such, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It almost made me feel like you didn't care about me. Again, I'm not trying to make this a big deal or anything. I just thought I would be honest and just let you know. That way I'm not holding on to anything. That's the truth. I have my desired result. I'm upfront. I'm getting straight to it. My desired result is, hey, I don't want to offend you, but I do need to let you know this. Then I tell her what it is. And then, hey, I might even recap for extra cushion, and we getting the hell up out of there. And she's like, oh, I didn't even know I did that. But now that I know that made you feel some type of way, I'm going to be more aware of it, and I'm going to pay more attention to it. I got you. No worries. I didn't mean any harm by that. Next thing you know, me and Ashley, we cool now. Everything's good. Like, bro, just having the desired result. You know what your desired result or outcome or your end goal is. My end goal was to bring this to Ashley without making her upset or without attacking her, without offending her. These two things will help you become a way better communicator. And I feel so passionate about communicating. This is so simple too. And this needs to become like second nature if you really want to be a good communicator. Sometimes it's necessary to offend people. So these rules that I bring to you, or these tips that I give to you, there's exceptions to the rules. This isn't like, it's not as simple as that. Sometimes when you communicate, you want to offend someone on purpose because you might have a different desired result. So anyways, I feel so strongly about communication because no matter what degree or not degree, no matter what field you choose to go into in life, no matter where you go in life, that's what I'm trying to say. No matter where you go in life, it's still a useful tool. If you have a spouse, it's going to be a great tool. If you have children, communication is a great tool. If you don't have a spouse and you just in the corporate world, communication is essential. Communication is essential everywhere. You need to be effective at it in all places of your life. This is why I decided to take communication and obviously I'm not the best communicator. This is why I decided to just practice on it and work on it more. Because it's such a useful, communicating can open so many doors for you. You can be the best at what you do, but if you're a terrible communicator, it can stop you from getting to a lot of places. And me, on the other hand, I could be mediocre in what I do, but I'm extremely well at communicating. I'm gonna mess around and get inside them doors that Buddy couldn't, even though he's way better at the trade. It's just I got better soft skills. I got better people skills. I know I'm considerate to people's feelings. My awareness is a beautiful thing to talk about too. Awareness is so beautiful. Becoming so aware, really what you need to do is become more aware with yourself, like self-awareness. Let me use the actual term. When you become better at self-awareness and how things rub you wrong and how people are just normal people too, them same things could rub them wrong. Your awareness isn't just to yourself. It isn't just self-awareness. It's like a damn radius and it just spreads. And now your awareness is just everywhere you go, and you encounter people on your day-to-day life. And because you got so much self-awareness, you start to understand people around you, and you're aware about how the body language and the tone and the volume. And when you got more understanding, you start being more aware of what you do and how it affects the people around you. You just gain more insight. And like I said, going back to it, when you get more awareness and understanding, it just makes communication so much easier to read. It's like a small thread. And when you gain understanding, that thread is just so much easier to find, that sweet spot, that balance. Because damn Tom, the 30-year-old white man or the 40-year-old white man, his thread is right here. If I got enough awareness and understanding, I can see that thread, and it's just, even though it's so thin, I can see it. That same thread might be like this. I wish y'all could just picture it. It's just so hard for you to, I'm just trying to describe people's keys. I'm gonna describe it this way. Different notes, like a piano. My best friend's key, I know where that key is, and I know how to communicate to him because I'm just aware, and I understand him and he understands me. It's easy to play the tone and the melody that will bear witness and kind of make sense and resonate with him. I'm familiar with that sound like and what it looked like in the tone. I'm familiar with it. Second nature. Once you become so aware of yourself and aware of other people, and you're just seeking to let me land it with this. People will tell you exactly the key and where to play it and how to play it to be able to communicate with them. People will let you know, like, hey, look, play this key, play this one, and then play this one. And I love that song. It's amazing. If you don't give a damn about learning it, you're gonna suck at communicating with them. Wow, this helped me so much. Talking myself through this just helped me. People will tell you the exact keys, and those keys are like giving you understanding on how to communicate with them effectively. And they do it by body language. That's this key. And they do it by, their eyes might be, this key. And then their hands, I'm still breaking down, body language, but their hands might do this when you say a certain word. That's this key. And then you said this, and you seen their smile light up, that's this key. And they'll let you know. Now y'all playing music back and forth, and it's so intimate and it's so beautiful and it's so fun because you just understand this person and where they're at right now in this moment, where they've been at for the past week, where they've been at for the past 3 months, where they've been at the past 6 months, where they've been at the past 3 years. And they will let you know, and you'll learn how to talk to different people. And it's just so beautiful. I love people. I love talking to people. I love understanding people. And if you know yourself, you know niggas. So the more self-aware you are, the more you understand about yourself, the easier it is to kind of understand other people. That's my opinion. That could be argued. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. To recap, the 2 tips that I got for y'all that'll improve y'all communication and take it to a whole nother level. One is gonna be understanding. Woo! And the second one is gonna be knowing your desired result. If you know the end goal and what you're trying to communicate to someone, and you stay focused on that, and you just be transparent about where you're taking them and what you're like, where you're taking them, like where that end goal is, people are usually willing to, like, as long as you're being transparent and honest and sincere, people don't mind walking with you. So try that. Try just being a stand-up nigga out there. Just try being sincere. So the 2 goals, again, I made that long. Understanding and knowing your end goal and your desired result. That's all it is, man. It's not that deep, but it can get deep. And we do like to go deep, not wide. You hear me? So tap in, man. Subscribe and like this channel. We're going to be back with more. Peace.